Super Cosplay Spotlight is presented by Lucy, starring Scarlett Johansson, now playing.
Welcome back, everybody. IGN Live from Comic-Con, brought to you by Lucy. It's time for our Super Cosplay Spotlight. We're joined by some cosplay friends here. LeeAnna Vamp, Abby Darkstar, Lauren. Lauren, do you have a surname? Or is it,
it's Lauren Bregman, and my company name is Castle Corsetry and the Birds of Play.
Very cool. My name's Damon. This is Alexis. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having us.
I would start off by telling us what your costumes are. I have a pretty good guess.
I'm a female stormtrooper.
And I am the Kotobukiya version of Jason from Friday the 13th.
Nice.
And I am Harley Quinn from DC Comics.
Your costumes are amazing,
Yeah,
girls.
Thank you so much.
They're awesome.
Thank you.
So when you guys choose characters, like, what do you look for? Do you have to have a personal investment in the character, or
It helps.
I like characters with sass. That way I can, be like, hey, what's up on the con floor, and I don't have to be all like.
Jason Voorhees is definitely sassy.
It's great if anybody gets fresh, because I can be like, I'm going to kill you later.
Yeah.
That's why I like villains. I like villains because you can just snarl at small children, and it's totally okay. It's totally fine.
I think it's really important to just pick something that you love, because you're transforming into that character. So for me, I pick things that I grew up with that mean a lot to me.
And you're spending time and money. It's an investment, of your heart and your soul and your budget. So you want to do something that you want to do.
Sure.
So how much time goes into each costume?
I mean, it really depends on if the costume's all sewn or if there's props to be made or armor. I mean, everything varies. I mean, easy costumes can take like 2 hours, whereas like crazy costumes, like I'm sure your Stormtrooper armor took like days to make.
Days, yeah.
Days.
It was
Yeah.
like 12 to 14 hour days.
I think
And it's like 3 hours to hand sew each glove. So it's all relative to how complicated the costume is.
And then,
sorry.
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think it also depends on the level of detail in the costume. Like, obviously, like a Blizzard character with all that intricate armor is going to take a lot longer.
Yeah.
But I think one of the funniest things about costumes is skimpy costumes are like the hardest to make because you can't hide anything.
Yeah.
Well, you're like, how do I hold my boobs up in this? I don't know. There's no
really vital.
gravity.
Yes.
Gravity happens, but it
world
doesn't happen in
cosplayer
comics.
We actually have a question for you guys from one of our viewers on Facebook. Andy Slade asks, what's the best cosplay you've ever done?
Well, for me, my favorite cosplay I've ever done was Hocus Pocus. My Hocus Pocus witches. I did all 3 witches, and we actually were wearing it on Wednesday of Comic-Con. We're going to wear it again tomorrow. But I love doing Winifred Sanderson. It's a very intricate costume, and I feel like a rock star in it.
She really does.
Yeah,
like,
it's
there's
amazing.
fangirls all over.
And I get to try to pretend to eat all the small children, and it's delicious.
For me, I've done a couple versions of Poison Ivy in full body paint and prosthetics. And for me, I love that becoming that incarnate, character, and it's just, that's something I really enjoy.
For me, it's this.
I
I have wanted to be a stormtrooper for so long, so being able to do this and put the full armor on and walk around, and you see kids come up to you and just like smiles and so happy to see you, and I love it. It's my Chewbacca takes a close second, but stormtrooper, it's badass. I love it.
We actually have an IGN super fan here at the show who is cosplaying. So we thought maybe we bring him out here and you guys could critique, maybe
Awesome.
let him know how
Let's
he's
do
done
it.
with his
Yeah.
costume. This is Greg Atlas, IGN super fan. Greg, welcome to the show.
How are you?
You look
Greg,
beautiful.
Let us know who you're cosplaying as.
Quiet from Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yes. Are you guys familiar with the character?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, how has Greg done?
I would say awesomely epic because as a person who has been in ensemble similar, it takes an enormous amount of confidence. So my gloves are off to you, sir.
Yeah, for
Round
sure.
of applause.
I mean, I'm wondering what you're doing to support all of this action up here. Usually, we have to incorporate wires,
Right, some
and like
underwires.
Yes.
some like
Yeah.
fishing
Nice
line.
photos.
Yeah.
And
Have you
a
guys
bunch of
ever
tape.
had any like wardrobe malfunctions go wrong that you're just like,
Every day.
In this costume, actually, at WonderCon of last year, the crotch seam ripped open. That was really fun during the photo shoot. That was exciting.
Oh no, pudding.
Yeah. Luckily, we were staying on site, so we were able to go fix it. But
Yeah, I've had
yeah, it was an awkward walk of shame back to the car, though.
yeah, I've had costume malfunctions when I've been in like costumes that that you have to control the ladies, and they're like, no, we want to be free.
So what do you do when that happens, when something just goes?
Toupee tape.
tape
I've
is
learned
amazing.
toupee tape and awesome duct tape, whatever it takes.
whatever kind of tape. It's essential to have a spotter.
Yeah,
have
spotter.
someone that's got your back
Yes.
to make sure if something's out, they let you know.
We have time for a few more questions, but Greg, I want to thank you for coming.
Thank
on the
you,
show.
Greg.
Fantastic.
Well done.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Any final questions, Alexis?
Yeah, I mean, when you guys dress up for, conventions and events and stuff, does the location or, I mean, obviously for you, weather doesn't really play a factor.
Right. I think everything you kind of have to factor in because some things like transporting something like this is a lot harder. And a lot of us put a lot of time and effort into our costumes.
Yeah.
So it's like it's your baby and you don't want TSA to touch it.
Oh,
Right,
God,
right.
yes.
That's the worst.
I think, that's the worst because, shipping, because it
Yeah.
costs a ton to ship. When I got my Halo armor to Dragon Con, it was like $300, and my husband does Iron Man. And that armor, like, we were paranoid because that's like a very expensive
Do you
suit.
just ship it to the hotel? Or?
Yeah.
Wow.
Bernie, the TSA actually broke Bernie's dark helmet on the plane to Wizard World Sacramento a couple months ago.
They like
he
looking
does
through
dark
things.
helmet from Spaceballs, and they popped the lenses out of his
Oh, no.
face
Well, I
mask.
actually found a handy method around
Cosplay
that.
horror.
I know.
No, I normally take a picture of my props and then I tweet to the TSA and go, this is how it looks now. It better arrive that way. And I yet to have a problem since that point.
I'm collecting TSA little pamphlets because each way they like rummage through everything. So I have like a flip book now.
Well, especially if we travel with like weapons and stuff as accessories, like they're gonna
Yeah.
open our bags, like because that looks weird in an X-ray.
Yeah.
So
Ladies, thank you so much for coming by.
thank you.
You're all great. I think the cosplayers are one of the most fun parts of Comic-Con.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much for
We
having
try
us.
to make it fabulous for you.
For sure. Alexis, thanks for joining us today.
Of course. Happy to be here.
Stay tuned. We have much more coming up for you live from Comic-Con right after these messages